one thing I've learned from you?
Probably all my kids have learned, and this is probably from growing up on a dairy too, a good work ethic.
So growing up on a dairy, it was fun. We got to run around and the whole world was our backyard. I had a bunch of siblings, so there was never a dull moment.
We moved here about 23 years ago, back in the early 2000s. 2002 is when we started milking cows here. I'm proud to be a California dairyman. There's lots of opportunities here to continue to feed the world and provide dairy products for the rest of the world. It's going to be challenging, but 20 years ago it wasn't easy either. So we'll just have to adapt with what's around us, and technology will be a big part of that.
Recently, like 3 years ago, we started our robotic milking facility. It allows the cow to milk herself when she wants. The cow can be a cow in the environment of the robotic facility, for sure. When we put it in, we thought we weren't going to be quote unquote closer to our cows because it's robotic milking, but actually it's been the opposite. I think we know the cows in the robot facility better than we do our conventional milking herd. So when the cow walks up to the robot, it'll walk into a stall. The cow will get identified through an identification chip in her ear. So the robot knows what cow came in to get milked. The arm will grab a cleaning cup that cleans and preps all 4 quarters, and then it will attach each cup separately to each quarter. The whole robotic milking process on average takes about 6 minutes per milking.
Sustainability is just optimizing those inputs and outputs and mitigating any potential impacts that we might have on the environment or just our community too. So on our dairy, we're not only producing nutritious dairy products, milk, cheese, yogurt, etc., but we're also a big supplier of energy to the California grid and to the California natural gas pipeline. So we have 2 1-megawatt sites, which is about 10 acres of solar. We have another slightly smaller one going in next spring. So we use those to offset our electrical usage on the dairy and also on the farming operation. Several years ago, we installed an anaerobic digester on our facility. Basically, all of the manure and water from the dairy operation flows into a double-lined lagoon, which means it has 2 liners underneath it to prevent any leaching. It stays in that lagoon for approximately 25 days, and during that process, the manure starts to digest or decompose. It produces gas. So we take the gas, we clean it, we run it through generators, and we actually produce electricity with it. So basically it complements the solar fields very well because the digester produces electricity at night when it's dark, and the solar produces electricity during the day when there's light out. As society moves more and more away from agriculture, people are just not as familiar with where any agricultural product comes from. I think it's our job as dairymen, as industry groups, to educate society on where our food comes from.